with Diana from Winerist
and Helena from Winebird.
And we're in Marylebone today, meeting with Peter Gordon from the Providores.
We're going to be tasting some fantastic wines and some delicious food. Now you need to know that this is the restaurant that boasts the biggest New Zealand wine list in Europe.
Watch the space, event with the Providores and Winerist coming to you very soon.
So 15 years ago we opened the Providores and we wanted to have a all-day New Zealand style wine bar cafe and a restaurant, which is what we've got. And if I had to describe it in 3 words, it would be neighbourhood friendly, creative fusion cuisine and New Zealand wine list. The reason we are quite different to other restaurants in London is we have the 2 separate floors. So downstairs is very casual, breakfast, lunch and dinner, small plates, no tablecloths. And upstairs here it's slightly more formal, but it's New Zealand formal. And also we have the largest New Zealand wine list of any restaurant in Europe, which really makes us stand out. So when we opened, we had New Zealand wines and non-New Zealand wines, and it was at a time when people were familiar with Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, but not necessarily some of our other varietals. Now we have an exclusive New Zealand wine list. We've got over 120 labels. We work with a lot of different producers and importers and so on, and there's a real friendly relationship between us. We're the conduit in many ways for growers in New Zealand and the market here. It's kind of a variety of people looking at stuff, varietal changes, vintage changes, and it's a nice collaborative effort here. The food we do here is fusion food, and that means it's a whole lot of different flavours from around the world. So we have things from Southeast Asia, from the Middle East, from India, from Europe, and we put them together in a style that is known as fusion, and that's, I guess, what I've been doing for a long time. The kitchen here is led by Paul Melville, who's also a New Zealander, and Paul and the team down there will work on dishes with myself, and it's also collaborative, rather like the wine list. And we're always looking at things that are in season, but our customers come here expecting really interesting, punchy flavours. The wine and food matching here works really, really well. Dishes that people will be familiar with here, we always do a laksa, which is a sort of Malaysian, Singaporean, coconut-based broth with noodles, and we do it slightly differently with maybe green tea noodles and fish dumplings. We have a beef pesto that's a dish that came from the Sugar Club in New Zealand in 1987, and that's a dish that's been on at the Providores for a while and also on at the Sugar Club, one of my restaurants in New Zealand. For the beef, I'd say that we'd offer a Syrah or something like this Providence here, this lovely Bordeaux blend from Matakana. And for the laksa, something like the Milton Chenin Blanc. And Milton are a fantastic biodynamic grower in Gisborne, and the Chenin Blanc goes beautifully with kind of more traditional fish dishes, but it goes really well with the laksa here. So we're lucky in New Zealand because there are no sort of rules on what you can and cannot grow, and the growers are always trying to find, will this grape work in New Zealand? Can we, find something that's really suited to this climate and terroir? So there's been a lot of winemakers experimenting with different grapes. One of my favourites at the moment is Trinity Hill Tempranillo. They're from the Gimlet Gravels near the Hawke's Bay, and it's a fantastic Spanish varietal that does really well in New Zealand. So many locals have been coming here for 15 years. We have people who've been here at least once a week, if not 5 days a week, for coffee in the morning, for breakfast. We have people who come for business meetings, although you can see it's not spacious tables, it's quite a nice kind of intimate feel about it. People will come in just for a glass of wine downstairs. We'll have mums who drop their kids off at school and then come in for a sneaky Bloody Mary. We have people popping in for a lovely glass of champagne or a cocktail, and people will come in for lunch and dinner up here on the Providores on the first floor. We do brunches on the weekends that we will have queues out the door. Even in winter when it's snowing, there'll be a queue of people going outside. And I'd say our most loyal customer are the people who live in Marylebone. They're regulars who come here and support us time and time again. In London we also have Papa restaurant in Covent Garden, and in New Zealand I have the Sugar Club on the top of the Sky Tower, 53rd floor of this amazing tower, the towers above Auckland, and Bayota, which is a Spanish tapas bar. But also in London we have another food business that's not really a restaurant, it's a donut business called Crosstown, and there's a whole group of us involved in that, and we produce these amazing donuts, and I'm sure they're wine friendly, we just haven't really tried them.